Hi, everybody, welcome in. So, today's message is a little bit of a doozy, right? And I've had to actually write down some of the messages that were coming through. And pardon, it is really about the roles that we play in life, you know. And those very roles that we play in life actually become like a mask that we wear. And we do this when we want to restrict ourselves or when we want to conceal who we truly are. And many of us, myself included, right, have during various stages of our lives, we have put on a mask to conceal our heartache, our grief, trauma, or maybe even just to fit in. And we have done so to protect ourselves. The danger, however, with that is that we can get so used to that mask that we actually start identifying ourselves with that mask. And over a period of time, the pain, the grief becomes bearable or just easier to live with. This, however, does not mean that we have dealt with the issue or even healed from what had happened, or the reason why we are actually wearing the mask. People who are very sensitive, empaths as well, are especially susceptible to this. And it is something that we really just need to be aware of, right? For any narcissist or trickster energy type, this is like a light bulb shining bright. You know, when we um, wear this mask, but our guilt, our shame, our traumas that we have gone through, we haven't healed it yet. But it's to a narcissist or trickster energy, it's like they can see this, you know. It's like a light bulb shining for them. And they excel, they really excel at detecting any sense of lack, any loneliness or unworthiness we believe about ourselves. Their false promises to fulfill, to protect, or to love us in our own inadequacies are designed to ensnare us within their influence. Because once we enter their kingdom of lies, we become entranced by their falsely glamorized illusions while they sustain and feast on our energy. The ability to fool us is dependent on the trust and power that we give it. And so, in order for us to free ourselves, we need to see and acknowledge the trance for what it is and their empty promises for exactly what they are. Our awareness and clarity of what is true is the key to weakening their power over us. And it starts with the process of unhooking ourselves from the emotional manipulation, the mental entrapment, and the toxic power dynamic. Our decisions are how we adapt and come to own and know ourselves through any significant change, right? Our power and our strength lie within our surrender to actually want that change. That is where our power lies, where our strength lies, is in that really to want that change. It takes a huge amount of courage and resilience. I mean, it is not easy. And I'm by no means making light of it, right? It takes a huge amount of courage, resilience, and perseverance to actually want that change and to actually go through with it. But we need to look at everything, the way it's happening, and to understand it, and to want that change, and to eventually want better for ourselves. And yes, it can be overwhelming. Yes, it can be painful. You might be at a point where something needs to give. And yes, it will be disruptive. Yes, you will have to look at why you have felt the need to accept or felt okay to accept their bad behavior, their disrespect, or their making you feel less than what you deserve. Whatever you decide, be gentle and compassionate with yourself. Tend lovingly to any feelings of confusion, of fear, of anger, frustration, or loss so that you can heal. What is important to remember is that hurt, any kind of hurt or trauma, is actually what blocks our own light and our forward movement. And forgiveness is really the key to that block. So, just like any physical wound, right? Healing happens when our wounds receive attention, treatment, and expression. Wounds stop bleeding once the pain has been known and released. So it is important for us to actually to really look at everything and to not deny anything. It also needs to happen on an emotional, right, a psychological, physical, and also on a spiritual level, because that would encompass all aspects of ourselves. And until then, if we do not face all those aspects of self and how it actually affects all those aspects of self, we will continue to bleed. And you, dear one, you are not your wounds. Sometimes when we express our pain to another, and let that be somebody you trust. But sometimes when we express our pain to another, it frees us to experience life beyond the pain and the horror we might be going through. Having someone who really cares to bear witness to the injured parts of ourselves, it has the power to release us from the unbearable pain and heal, and to help us heal. Once we release what is unforgiven from within ourselves, it ceases to have a negative charge and therefore no longer lives on in us as toxic energy. And that can be so damaging because it impacts us in a harmful way. Impacts, it has a harmful effect on who we are, on our health, and even the rest of our life story. And this is why the only forgiveness that matters is our own. And remember, let the role you play be yourself. I'm sending you all so much love, light, and peace. Till next time, namaste.